What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your $600 second stimulus check update and your $2,000 third stimulus check update. Apparently, there's some problems possibly now with second stimulus checks still going out, as millions of Americans have still not received their second stimulus check. And the latest on the third stimulus check coming out, apparently the Democrats are buttoning up some loose ends to make sure they can pass it. I'm going to give you all the latest details of it in this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new update videos regarding different buckets of money you can claim, such as mortgage and rental assistance, possible Social Security increases, and student loan forgiveness, as well as the second and third stimulus check updates. Also, hit the like button for us down below. It really helps out our channel. Also, remember, we have update videos at 11 p.m. Eastern time now every day, which is 8 p.m. West Coast time. So make sure to tune in at your 11 p.m. Eastern time video for more updates, and you won't get a bell notification for that one. You just have to remember to tune in, open up YouTube, and type in "It's Jimmy" and find the latest video. Apparently, there may be some problems if you haven't got your second stimulus check yet. So first, I know that millions of people are still getting their second stimulus checks right now. I see your guys' comments down below saying, I got my check today, I got my debit card in the mail today, I got my direct deposit today. Those are due to President Joe Biden's most recent executive actions to reissue those. However, a government watchdog group has said that potentially the IRS is taking some of your second stimulus checks, or maybe delaying them, for child support or tax debts or other debts owed. However, this wasn't supposed to be the case for the second stimulus check. And I know for a fact, because I've seen dozens of your guys' comments, that people who owed child support got their second stimulus check this time around, as opposed to going to the person that owed the stimulus check from the first time around. Let me know and let our viewers know down below in the comments if you haven't got your second stimulus check. And if you got your second stimulus check, or maybe somebody else got their second stimulus check who owed child support, let me know if you've already got it. Apparently, this may be the reason for some delays. It's still unknown yet what will happen going forward, and also if you owe potential taxes to the IRS, whether they have scooped those up or not. I will be updating you, but I do know that lots and lots of people are getting their second stimulus checks right now via direct deposits and checks and debit cards in the mail. Literally every single video, I see comments from you guys saying, I just got my check in the mail. My daughter just got their check in the mail. I just got my check in the mail yesterday. So they are going out right now still, but apparently there might be some delays, and or the IRS might be trying to grab some of these. I will keep you updated on the situation. Next up, on the third stimulus check package, one of the things apparently that the Democrats are doing is trying to basically tie up all loose ends to make sure that the third stimulus check package passes. And Bernie Sanders says that this is going to possibly be on the floor of the House and the Senate as soon as Monday or Tuesday. So apparently what the Democrats are doing is kind of doing a little bit of campaigning via Vice President Kamala Harris to make sure that they have at least all 50 Democrat senators on board, one of which is Democratic Senator Joe Manchin, who you may know previously we have covered that he came out and said that he wasn't okay with the $2,000 stimulus checks. And then he kind of backed that back up and said, well, yeah, he's probably okay with it. So what the Democrats are doing right now is they're making sure that they're tying up all their loose ends, because they're actually expecting possibly to get not a single Republican vote on the third stimulus check package in the Senate. So what that would mean is every single Democrat in the Senate would need to vote yes so that they could pass it with their reconciliation card. If they don't get every single vote from the Democrats, all 50, and then the tiebreaker vote would go to the Vice President Kamala Harris for the 51st vote, which you need 51 votes to be able to activate this card and be able to pass the third stimulus check package in the Senate. They need the 50 votes. So basically, they're preparing just in case to not get a single Republican vote. Of course, we don't know if every single Republican is going to vote against it or if they'll be able to get the 10 votes that they need to pass without that card. But they're campaigning right now to make sure that every single Democrat says yes and that they can use the reconciliation card to pass the next stimulus package in the Senate. Here is Vice President Kamala Harris campaigning in West Virginia, which is Joe Manchin's state. And there's some interesting things that he has to say about that I'll show you here in a second.
Work that many Americans would argue still needs done is some sort of financial relief for people struggling to make ends meet as month 10 of the COVID-19 pandemic drags on.
The president and I are really clear. We can't continue this way, and we've got to work with a sense of urgency. And so we're offering the American Rescue Plan that's about opening schools back up in a safe way. It's about getting support for small businesses, getting relief for families. So many people have been unemployed for almost a year at this point, hardworking folks who have lost their jobs through no fault of their own. And the president and I feel very strongly that these are the moments when we are facing a crisis of unbelievable proportion, that the American people deserve their leaders to step up and stand up for them.
The plan includes things like $1,400 checks for each person in a household, expanded unemployment benefits, and it would mount a national vaccination program. West Virginia has been leading the nation when it comes to actually getting shots in arms. Earlier this week, President Biden said that distribution would be based on a state's population. West Virginia is a small state with one of the oldest and most vulnerable populations. So is basing the distribution on a state's population fair, especially when small states like West Virginia are efficiently getting people vaccinated?
Our plan is to get everybody vaccinated without any question. So our plan was and remains that for the first 100 days of our administration, 100 million vaccinations will be performed. But listen, that's why we have the American Rescue Plan, because we have over 320 million people in our country. It's that and it's more. It's also about looking at the rates of child poverty in our country that have been highlighted and have grown exponentially because of the fact that their parents are now unemployed. And so our American Rescue Plan is also about lifting children out of poverty.
Next up, Democratic Senator from West Virginia, Joe Manchin, responds to Vice President Kamala Harris campaigning in West Virginia for the next stimulus package.
I saw it. I couldn't believe it. No one called me. We're going to try to find a bipartisan pathway for it. I think we need to, but we need to work together. That's not a way of working together, what was done.
In addition to an interview with us, the vice president spoke with a station in Arizona.
We want to make the case to the American people across the country. This was a way to do exactly that.
Why those states specifically?
I think she'll do a number of more regional calls and regional interviews, as will other members of the team.
The American Rescue Plan would give $1,400 checks to essentially every American. Senator Manchin believes those payments should be targeted.
We met with his economic team, and they put out what they wanted. We said, just show us the figures, because people need to know. We want to help everybody that needs help. But if a person's making $250,000 or $300,000, I don't think they're in much as need as a person making 40 or 50 that's been okay. That's all I've said. We're going to target it.
Two different approaches from one political party.
We ran as Democrats, but we are Americans.
So yeah, the Democrats are basically trying to ensure that they're going to at least get 100% of the Democrats in the Senate to pass this bill, which would be all 50 Democrats. Of course, we know that Democratic Senator Joe Manchin is potentially one of the more middle-leaning Democrats that cares about where the money goes and how much they spend, which, leans a little bit towards more the Republican side. It does appear that he will be on board, but as he said, he wants to see the numbers, see where they're going. We also saw that independent/Democratic Senator Bernie Sanders who is now the Senate Budget Chairman, he has said that he is completely okay with altering the bill to make it so that rich people, quote, rich people, do not, or people, I don't even know how to say that politically correct. Is it not politically correct to say that? But basically people making possibly over $75,000 or $99,000 per year for an individual, double that for a couple, might be cut off. So the reason this is even coming into play is because the checks are larger this time around, and the checks are more than double for children. So the only place this really comes into play is for children. So for example, if you had a couple making $300,000 a year, in the past stimulus checks, they wouldn't have got a check, but they could potentially get a reduced check this time around, because if they have, let's just say, 4 children, each of those 4 children is going to get 1,400, 1,400, 1,400, and 1,400. So, and the way the current bill, the first bill and the second bill, which are probably just going to use the same wording unless they make this altercation, is for every $1,000 above $75,000 for a single, or $150,000 for a couple, every $1,000 over, your stimulus check gets reduced by $50. But if your stimulus check includes 4 children, 1,400, 1,400, 1,400, 1,400, and $1,400 for you and, say, your wife, as an example, there's, I don't even know, what is that, $6,000 or $7,000 there to work with of a stimulus check. And yes, it gets whittled down. Every 1,000 you make over, say, $150,000 for a couple gets reduced by $50. But somebody like that, in that weird certain circumstance, which Bernie Sanders says less than 1% of people fall into, they would get a reduced stimulus check, and they could still get some type of a stimulus check, maybe a couple $100 or $500 or something like that, depending on how much they made and how much it gets reduced and how many kids they have and all those things. So it's kind of weird that that one little thing is being kind of blown out of proportion. I think that President Joe Biden has said that he's willing to have a hard cutoff there, which they may need to do. That might be one of the last provisions that they're kind of adding into the bill. So my personal thoughts is, if they wanted to do this and make everybody happy, even though there's less than 1% of people that are going to even get a reduced check through those, small filters, would be just cut it off at 99,000 or 198 for a couple. So if you make over 99 or 198, you just don't get a check at all. And that is exactly the case with the first and the second stimulus check. In fact, the second stimulus check, because it was a smaller check, I believe was $87,000. Anybody over $87,000 for a single, or double that for a couple, didn't get a check at all, because it was reduced by $1,000, $50 per 1,000 after 75,000, if that makes sense. I will keep you updated on the breaking developments, along with student loan forgiveness, Social Security increase, when I get news on those things, as well as mortgage and rental assistance. Remember, we will have another video tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern, which is 8 p.m. West Coast time. Easiest way is subscribe down below. It's completely free. Click the bell icon to all notifications so you get notifications when we go live for at least the first 3 videos of the day, which are 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We now are doing a bonus video just because there's so much news coming out about the second and the third stimulus checks. That's at 11 p.m. You won't get a notification. You just got to tune in to YouTube at that time. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA, where I have a program teaching people how to do that and replace their 9-to-5 income by selling products on Amazon. Click on one of those videos to watch them next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.